Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. Let's just jump right into it with our 500 millibar, excuse me, a little itch, 500 millibar chart. And I'm just going to kind of slowly move through time here because for us, not a whole lot changes. The jet or the higher winds aloft kind of shifts away, but in general, we're still in a pretty straight zonal flow pattern. Not a whole lot changing for us, not a whole lot going on. And this is through the entire period. So from now through this evening, all of tomorrow, and into Tuesday morning. Though, as we head into the later parts of the period here, tomorrow afternoon, evening, and into Tuesday morning, we do notice this trough out to our west. And while it seems as though this is mainly going to be an issue to our south, it is certainly worth keeping an eye on if it begins to lift a bit as it moves to the east, because then that would bring it closer to our area, and then potentially we would have to look out for some impacts from that. And I think we will actually get some impacts from that, especially with the positioning of the. It's not a very strong jet, but the jet is on the eastern side, and so I do think that this thing could lift a little bit as it moves to the east. So that would certainly spell out some possible impacts for our area. Now let's head on down to the 700 millibar chart just to make sure there's not anything sneaky hiding in there for us. And it does actually look like there was a little shortwave trough. A couple of them actually, tiny little shortwaves that were down in the Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma area, a little bit into Texas too, as we head into this evening. But those kinks kind of sort themselves out, and they stay to our south anyway, so it turns out we wouldn't have to really worry about them that much anyway, which is good. And just going through, yeah, doesn't really look like much really hiding in there. Of course, you can see that next system starting to build as we head into Tuesday morning. You can start to see a broad trough-like feature starting to take shape. So that is interesting to see. And now let's just go down to the 850 millibar level, even closer to the surface, just to make sure there's not anything else that's being missed. And no, not really. It's showing much of the same. You can start to see that low pressure center start to take hold. Excuse me. Excuse me, as it comes off the Rockies of Colorado and moves more than likely east to northeastward with time. Now let's head to the surface. Take a look at. I mean, right now we've got a big dome of high pressure sitting on top of us, which is why it's been colder lately, but also why it's really sunny outside. So, it gives and it takes. And that dome of high pressure will slowly begin to move out. And we do have an area of low pressure that develops to our north. But what's really going to be interesting is it's not super obvious yet, but this area of low pressure developing in Colorado here is going to be really the main thing with that next trough that's developing aloft, and that is going to bring some good changes, I think, for us. At least it's going to bring changes that I'm excited for, and it's something that we are going to dive into in a moment. But first, let's take a look at our highs and lows. So for today, temperatures are expected to increase just a little bit from now. We are expected to get into the upper 20s, not quite to 30. Then overnight, temperatures will drop a little bit and reach a low by tomorrow morning around 7 a.m., just below 20 degrees. So not super cold, but still, it is technically it's not winter in Michigan anymore because today is the first day of meteorological spring. Now, if you go by astronomical seasons, then yeah, it's still winter. But today, meteorologically, is the first day of spring. So no, it is not winter in Michigan. Ignore all the snow outside. I mean, hey, most of it's already melted, right? Yeah? Anyway, point is, as we head into tomorrow, things will warm up a bit more. we could get into the upper 30s here, which I think would be nice, but what's even nicer is what's going to be coming up after that. And we don't cool off too much on Tuesday, or heading into Tuesday morning. We dip into the lower 20s, but for the large part, still pretty good. Actually, hold on, let me go back a minute. Yeah, so here we're actually below 20. I don't know if I don't remember if I said that if we were in the lower 20s or what, but no, that's a lie. We are below 20 here. This is more like upper teens for tonight, or for tomorrow morning, tonight into tomorrow morning. But correction there. I don't know if I said that right the first time. I don't remember. Point is, low 20s as we head into Tuesday morning. But, spoiler alert, things are going to start warming up. This right, this right here is a fancy little tool called the National Blend of Models. And what I'm really going to highlight here is these box and whisker plots for the temperature ranges. And you'll notice that there is a general upward trend with the temperatures here. Now, the deterministic, so I mean, that's really like the expected value just based on all of the individual model outputs. The deterministic values are seemingly on the low end of these probabilistic box and whisker plots. So it seems like some of the expected outcomes are on the low end of the possibilities, but that is still saying, even with that said, we're still expecting some pretty significant warming. By Wednesday, the expected value is already up to 50 degrees. The high end is potentially up to 60. Friday, the expected value is 64, or the deterministic value is 64 degrees. But even the probabilistic puts us in a range from 73 to 67. Now we do drop a little bit as we head into Saturday, but even then the expected temperature is still 58 degrees. 57 on Sunday, though potentially warmer, and 60. And even though that these, especially on Sunday and Monday here, even though the deterministic values are still on the very low end of these probabilistic box and whisker plots, they're still giving us 57 and 61 degrees respectively. And so there absolutely is a chance that, from Friday into the early part of next week, that we could see temperatures get into the upper 60s and perhaps even into the low 70s. Now, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited about it yet, but it is possible, and I do want to highlight that. But even then, even if we don't get up to those, upper 60s, low 70s, we're still looking at a very nice period of upper 50s to low 60s, and that is something that I am very much looking forward to. But if we scroll down a bit, you may also notice that there are a lot of green bars here, and a lot of green on this chart here. A lot of green, a lot of green, a lot of green. Yep, that's rain. A lot of rain. It's going to be a warm period, but it's looking like it's also likely to be a wet period. Of course, things that we're going to have to continue to refine exactly how much rain we're expecting to get, but it is certainly possible that we see multiple inches of rain through the entire period from this week all the way into the beginning of next week. So it is looking to be a rainy period. There may be some breaks in that, but it is looking to be a warm but rainy period. But you know what? I'm okay with that because I love the smell of rain. On the topic of rain, let's take a look at our precipitation for our given forecast period. Now, none of the rain we talked about is likely to show up here yet, but we'll just take a look anyway, just to see how things look through the next couple of days. And for the rest of today, things look nice, calm, no precipitation, and the same can be said for tomorrow. Now, of course, we do have some precipitation off to our south tomorrow across parts of Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, and further south, but that again should remain to our south, and we should remain nice and dry through tomorrow. Now, as we head into Tuesday morning, it does look like some of this rain starts to make its way more northeastward and some more develops to our southwest. So this here could be the beginning of our rain although by Tuesday morning it has not quite reached our area yet. Now we'll take a look at wind. I'm not really expecting much in the way of wind here. I think that'll change as we get into a warmer, wetter period, but I think for our immediate forecast period, that winds should be relatively calm. So let's move on forward, and currently they are very calm. They remain calm through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. They pick up just a little bit tomorrow afternoon, but even then, at most, the sustained wind is looking to be around or just above 10 miles per hour. And then those winds subside as we head into the evening time and remain calm as we head into Tuesday morning. So yeah, really not a whole lot of wind there. Let's take a look at our wind gusts. Even right now, even though gusts are very calm, not really any gusts to speak of. We could have some wind gusts make their way into the area tomorrow afternoon. The strongest gust potentially up to 20 miles per hour. But then, just like the sustained winds, they calm down as we head into the evening. And by Tuesday morning, completely calm again. So really, when the strongest gusts you're looking at are just getting up to 20 miles per hour, it is certainly a relatively calm period. So not a whole lot to worry there in terms of wind. Now, last but not least, we'll take a look at our cloud cover as usual. Things are nice and clear right now, and yeah, I don't think I even saw a cloud in the sky, and that is reflected here. Those conditions should remain through the day. Maybe we get a cloud or two starting to pop up in the sky, but the sky should remain mostly clear, if not completely clear, through the day. Maybe we get a few more high-level clouds moving through the area in the overnight hours. But as we head into tomorrow morning, we should once again be completely clear. And that should once again hang around through most of the day tomorrow, if not all of the day tomorrow. Now, as we head closer towards the late afternoon and evening, we do see some high-level clouds start to make their way in, but even then we should still be looking at a mostly clear sky even as the sun sets. But it was pretty much right after sunset, we're going to start to see some more clouds building in. Then we'll have a brief break, kind of in the early morning, Tuesday, before more of those clouds start to build in. And by 7 a.m. Tuesday here, we're still seeing, it's not complete cloud cover. There probably still will be some sun poking through, but it's going to be a lot more cloud cover than we are expecting to see, today and tomorrow. And I imagine that the following days after this are just going to get progressively more and more cloudy as rain starts to make its way into our area. And with that, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.